Hi there. This trap in the English is called counting your chickens, which is synonymous to celebrating prematurely, and it's taken from the game Andreikin against Karjakin from 2010. I don't know why Karjakin would have been celebrating prematurely. Perhaps he thought he had equality on move 6, or he didn't anticipate the dangers behind queen takes d4 on move 8. Let's check out the game. After c4 and e5, the English, knight c3, knight c6, knight f3, and black goes for a fianchetto defense with g6. White takes the center with d4, and after e takes d4, rather than recapture on d4, white goes for this idea, knight d5, which we've seen in similar traps in the Spanish especially, well worth checking out. Perhaps look up the Afghan trap. Here black plays bishop g7, and now bishop g5 hits the queen. So white is on the offensive, although black can certainly defend adequately, and dropping the knight back from c6 to e7 would seem to do the job. Black would have equality. Black can rearrange his pieces. Even c6 can kick at that knight on d5. Black would be doing fine. And also the move knight f6 here would be okay for black as well. But if perhaps the more natural looking knight ge7 is played, then already black is in serious trouble. White first takes back the pawn now on d4, and this is a strange recapture because it looks as if black is winning material. Well, let's just have a look before we look at taking on d4. If h6 was played first to try and get rid of that annoying bishop on g5, which is pinning, then after h6, knight takes on c6, hitting the queen, and white will pick up the knight on e7, so that's going to be winning for white. Also, if f6 was played, then white would simply just capture on f6, either with the bishop or the knight. But what's wrong with bishop takes on d4, picking up the piece? Well, perhaps Karjakin didn't realize that after queen takes on d4, he can't recapture the queen with knight takes on d4 because of mate in 2, knight f6, king f8, and bishop h6. So the queen is immune from capture. It's hitting the rook on h8, and even a player of the standard of Karjakin has missed out on this simple tactic. Karjakin, who just took first place in the World Cup in Baku 2016 amongst 128 players. So even the top players can miss out. So here the rook's in trouble. If the rook moves to g8 or even f8, then the knight's coming to f6. That's going to be a smothered mate, or pick up the rook if it's on g8. So Karjakin castle, but now knight f6 anyway hits the king. If the king moves over to g7, then it's mate after knight h5, followed by king g8 with queen g7 mate. And if the king moves over to h8, then knight g4 is the move. Discovered check. f6 doesn't really help here, neither does knight e5, any piece interposing. So king g8 and knight h6 is checkmate. So this has been a trap in the English. It's called Counting Your Chickens. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.